Welcome everyone, I'm Ify and today I'm going to show you my top 6 Loewe solo fragrances. There are lots of flankers of the original solo. I haven't smelled all of them, especially the newest releases. I did smell the essential, which I think it's a joke if you like the original solo DNA, because they have nothing in common. So from the ones that I have today, I'm going to show you my top 6. Also, they come in the older bottle design. I managed to get some testers in their older bottle design. So let me know in the comments if you have tested the fragrances in their newer bottle design and if they have been reformulated. So let's begin. At number 6 is going to be the Platinum. Why just number 6? Because this one is considered to be a great flanker. Just number 6 for me at least, because it smells very similar to the original. It smells the most similar out of these 6. If you own the original, I don't see why you should get this one, unless you dislike the fact that the original might have this herbaceous smell because of the basil, might be a bit too mature. This one doesn't have those. This one instead has leather, which darkens the fragrance a bit, also has tea, which gives the fragrance a metallic vibe. But overall, it feels a bit more flat compared to the original, where the original has like bursts of different notes. At number 5 is going to be the sport version of the original, also similar to the original, but this one is much more creamy, almost a gourmand citrus type of creaminess, almost like Chanel's Allure Sport Edition Blanche. It's different from the usual sports fragrances and it keeps the solo DNA, which I personally love. I love this sports type of fragrance, but the performance, it's not that great. I know it's not supposed to be loud because it's a sport fragrance, but I don't feel it for that long on my skin. It projects quite good for the first 30 minutes, but then I have to check the place to see if it's still there. That's why it's just number 5. If it had just a bit of boost in its performance, this would have been like an overall great fragrance, period, not just sports fragrance. At number 4 is Solo Origami. This one, another freshie, still has the original DNA, but this is where the original DNA starts to disappear a bit. So what's up with this? This is a completely different type of freshness. It's a sour freshness in the opening, and then it becomes this shaving foam smell with the original Solo DNA. Not as complex, it's very linear, but it has a very good performance. I think it even beats, on my skin at least, it even beats the original Solo with its performance. So really good performance, very nice opening, very fresh and refreshing with that sour effect. Discontinued, and discontinued, I forgot to mention. So if you loved these fragrances, I think it's the time to see if there are still any of them available. At number 3 is Solo Cedro. This one, as the bottle looks, as the name says, it's a woody, a much more woodier version of the original. It's very nice, very aromatic, doesn't feel maybe as mature as the original. Again, doesn't have that herbaceous feeling or that mature vibe that this one might give. Good performance, and it's just at number 3, and it didn't beat the original, which is at number 2, just because it doesn't feel as complex as the original. I know many people prefer this one. Sometimes I also prefer it over the original, especially because I'm getting the feeling that the original doesn't have the same good performance as it used to have. Sometimes I'm getting a better performance out of this. So that leads to number 2, which is the original. I still like very much. This is actually one of my favorite fragrances. It feels very different from everything that it's out there. It's very complex. It has tons of notes, has a bit of everything. Might feel, like I've said, might feel a bit outdated, a bit too mature, because some of the notes, some of the herbaceous notes, but those just add up to the complexity of the fragrance. Very high quality also. But still, one of the flankers smells better than it, and it's the Absoluto. And as with most Absolute flankers in other designer fragrances, this is going to be a richer, denser, deeper version of the original. It has amber and gets this resinous sweetness, very complex. Why do I like this one much better than the other flankers of the Solo? Because this one keeps the complexity. It's very well balanced, and it doesn't feel flat. It's balanced, but it feels very rich. It smells so good, guys. This one is my favorite designer fragrance and could beat a lot of niche fragrances. I'm pretty sure that if I was to give this fragrance to blind test to someone with a trained nose, to someone who owns lots of niche fragrances, I don't think they would be able to tell that this is a designer fragrance. Really, that high quality and smells so good, and again very different from the rest of the designer fragrances. Unfortunately, this was discontinued. I do have 2 more backup bottles, but I'm afraid that at some point I'm not going to be able to enjoy this wonderful scent anymore. One of the best releases in terms of perfumery, any type of perfumery. And that was it, guys. And until the next video, you keep smelling great.